and welcome back. If you're rejoining the series, this is the second part of the Model A Roadster rebuild, or in this instance, just to get it going. The first part of the series will just be just to get this car working again, and then I'll go through all of the components of it and how much that I spend on it, or how much that I do to get it to looking as close as I can to its original form. So just got a few notes and just jotted them down, and we'll just quickly go through what I've done to date at the moment. So I've checked the fuel tank for any leaks. I've added a kerosene flush with inside the tank. Check the operation of the shut-off valve and where it leaves the firewall to this side of the engine bay. That's all operational. So when I go to start this car, I won't be using the fuel tank as such. I'll just use a side bottle or something along those lines. And when I say a side bottle, like a temporary type of a fuel tank, if you will, be it out of a plastic bottle or a bucket or something like that, just to get it to the starting stage. The electrical items we'll just touch on in a second. The engine, I've drained the engine of oil. This is the actual plug that goes to the underside of the the underside of the crankcase, and this is the normal drain plug that you would even have on a modern day car, and I couldn't get that off. It was absolutely stuck in there, so I had to remove the 6 UNC bolts that are on there. Just on that, out of the 6 I could only find 5 when I finished, so where the other one's gone I have no idea. So as part of my purchasing items for the initial stages of getting this car to run, I've ordered from Schneider's 6 of those bolts. Now, a fun fact about this car is that this plug on here, the washer that goes near the copper washer, is identical to the washers that do actually fit underneath the spark plugs on this car. So universally, Ford at the time thought of everything. They didn't produce separate parts for separate things. They just took on board, hey, let's make a plug the same size as the spark plugs, and we'll use the same washer. So a pretty good concept for that. So as part of my first lot of initial parts that are coming from Schneider, I've got 6 of those bolts and the underside of the sump gaskets and the like and that sort of stuff, of which I have a package here which I'll open in a minute. So oil's drained. I've also thought at the early stages, I just want to see if the engine actually does turn. So I've actually cranked the engine over by hand crank. It does now turn, and it actually turns via using the fan belt, because I've also adjusted up the generator position. It was actually the belt, it was slipping around the pulleys, so that's now done. As part of the ignition system of the engine, again the wiring harnesses will be part of that. I've ordered a new 6-volt battery. It will be here by Friday, today being Wednesday, so that's at least the electrical side of things. And the carburetor, I was confused with the name before, but it's like a Tittleson carburetor. It seems to be, looks okay. I have also purchased an air filter for this car. Now, why these early models never came with air filters, I don't know, but it's an addition that I'm putting onto it. It's period to the time, but it looks antique, if you will, and a lot of enthusiasts do put air filters on these cars. I have checked the fuel flow, as I said, out of there, out of the actual tank. It does come via the firewall on this side, and the fuel sediment bowl, I'll have to turn around and look at cleaning that out as well. So just quickly, I want to go to the engine first before we open up the fun stuff, which is the packaging. So just here is you can actually see the crank now turning down there, so that's nice and free. I have adjusted the generator, as I said. That nut down there, by the way, for the generator, which is just about there, I had to apply a little bit of heat to it to undo it, and I'll tell you what, it was really hard to undo that nut, but it's done. Spark plugs, I've taken them all off, filled the engine pistons with oil, 10W30 on the top of those, just to give it some movement around there, and I continuously turn this each and every day just to get it going, to help free it up. Now just down on here, this is part of the spark advance and the hand throttle controls. Now I have removed it. Now, as I said, I have removed it. This goes on to here, which is, I'm not going to be able to get that up, but it goes up into there somewhere. And as this hand throttle turns, it pushes this down and then subsequently operates the carburetor. And the same thing with the spark advance as well, which is operated via that other control over here. Now these are stuck tight. I've tried to free them up by spraying oil inside there and WD-40, degreaser and the like, and it's just, they're stuck tight. That does not move. Now just in the car, this is your yes, I have removed the steering wheel. This is the spark advance. Now that should come down, and it's really not moving, so something's frozen in there. And the hand throttle, it is just very, very tight. Now I took the steering wheel off for two reasons. One, to be able to see if I could remove these two arms out. They come out from the actual steering column itself. By the way, too, this was really hard to get that steering wheel off. I'll go through that at a later stage, how I actually got it off, but I did get it off in the end. Yeah, there's inside here, there's a gland, I believe, and that could be causing it to seize up, but I think it's something right down inside that steering column, right down to the box. Now, the bad side of pulling this apart is that once I knock these two little levers off, there's a very tiny, small, I don't know, maybe 1.5 mil or something like that, shear pin that holds these in spot. So once that's sheared off, it's a replacement item. You've got to buy a new one. So I'll have to order a new one. So at the moment, just to get this car started, I don't believe I'll need to use the hand throttle as much, and maybe just leave that spark advance up as high as I possibly can, just to get it going. If it doesn't go on that, I can slightly, force that spark advance a little bit, and also force the hand throttle a little bit, just to give it some idle. Anyway, waffling. So I will commit to shearing those off at some stage. So if you look down there, that's the little red bucket, if you will, is the last of the engine oil that it's still dribbling through. Now that's been open on the bottom of the sump now for probably around about 6 odd days, and oil is still dripping through. Just on the oil, here is the sample of the oil that came out of it. Now that, look at it, it says thick as. My lord, that is just like tar. It's just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. Okay, time for the fun stuff, I guess. So, I might just start with this box over here. Very well packed items, Schneider, thank you. Looks good. Right. This is the all of the bottom end gaskets. So that's a bottom end gasket kit. So sump plug. What else? We've got manifolds, I'm guessing. I don't want to cut that too much. So there you have it, quite a lot of good stuff in there for a Model A, everything you'll need. So that's the most important one for getting that through there. There should be a, oh look at that, haven't got a clue what they are, maybe for the water pump, anyway. Yeah, still learning. That could be the sump. No, it's not. So it doesn't look like it comes with a sump washer. That's odd. Well, lucky I did order some spark plug washers anyway, so that's good. Just put that there for the moment. We've got the main wiring harness, or the lighting harness as they call it. So this whole harness is giving me blinkers and windscreen wipers, I believe. I'm hoping. So that's in a replication of all the original wiring, so it's going to look period to the car, so that's good. This is the one coming from the coil down to the generator. Now this model that I've got does come with the metal. My one is broken about here somewhere, so this one replaces all of that. Again, it's period to the car, so it does work. Now, the reason I got this one, because the car does actually have a metal shroud. I think this is a 1929, even though the engine was built in December of 1928 in Canada. So this one is a replacement as per the engine. The later models, I think from 1929 onwards, so engines from 29 or even perhaps 30 came with just like a small sort of like a rubbery thing or something along those lines. My lord, I didn't realise I ordered that many parts. I don't know what's in this one. It's always fun to get stuff, isn't it? Now I've just bought a temporary radiator cap. I'll explain why. The radiator cap on here is not aligning properly. It's I don't know whether the thread around the radiator has actually caused some overlapping of the thread. So in other words, it's starting to bend the thread itself over, and it's not quite biting when I first put it on, so it's not aligning. I've got it aligned there at the moment, but if I'm making sense, I've just bought a round one to get me by, because it doesn't matter what it looks like. So I've got one of those. This is firewall grommet set, so everything that passes through the firewall now has a new grommet on it. This is a special tool that's used for removing the fuel gauge off the dash. It has like an octagon-y type of a head, and this goes into a special into the face of the thing. It'll make sense when I show you what the fuel gauge looks like. No idea. Some sort of a wire, coil to the terminal wire. There you go. Isn't that amazing? You know, it's just replicated parts, period, to the car. I've bought 1, 2, 3 proper cork washers for the underside of the radiator cap, all through here, and the other harnesses this is a terminal box going from the firewall back down to the somewhere, so that's another lot of wiring, all period to the car. And the last one is new fuel gauge. And that's all it did, was a float inside the tank. So as the fuel went down, it then gave you a small reading on the dashboard, told you how much was left in the tank. Very, very simple. Ford. So with the tools that I bought, this is the octagon-y type shape, which holds that in spot, and the other little square thing went inside that and turned that. It's a beautiful representation of the new product, of the old product being new. This is the fuel tank washers kit that comes with all of that. So if you look at the fuel gauge in here, that's the one that is just dead and buried, and that's the new one. So you've got to be sort of happy with the way that it looks. It just looks identical. So that's out the way. Last one. Just want to give a shout out to Schneider's. You know, they might be expensive. They do have every part available, as does a lot of other places. But I mean, look at the packaging. It's just brilliant. It's all numbered. It's all whatever. So what have I bought here? Okay, I've bought new spark plugs, just in case. Spark plug washers that I spoke about before, that also double as the sump plug. These a pack of my clean out for a 28-29 Ford. This is the new UNC bolts that go into that. There are 6 in there. I mean, $1.23 US, $1.23 US dollars. What's that? I don't know, $2 Australian, $2. Crazy. No idea what that is. Clean out gaskets. I bought an extra 2 of those clean out gaskets, just in case. I might have to have the sump off a number of times. So there you have it. I'm just going to quickly open up the spark plug, because I just want to see. I found out something about these plugs the other day. Now, I don't know whether these are the original size or not. Yes, they are. Okay. So I've bought a plug that looks like the original. Now, it's not concourse original, so if you're doing one of these Model A's to sell this car as an original car, that's not the plug you would use. It's just a copy of a modern day plug of a copy, and let's face it, it's one of the most important things of a car anyway, the ignition system. So it does come with washers. I've got a few spares. So there you have it. All the parts. So just before I close this one off, I've just done a couple of sample areas of how I'm going to try to clean these surfaces up. So that's what the headlights look like now, and that is part of what I've done. I've just given it a bit of a polish up. I managed to get it looking pretty damn close, if you ask me. And I did a small sample just down here of the bumper, and you'll see just here. So to what extent I do all this, I don't really want to replace all these parts, but that's going to go. Okay, so just to close off, I did end up taking the steering wheel off so I could get to those small levers that control the spark advance and the hand throttle. In doing so, I'm going to also repair this steering wheel, so you can actually see that it's got a couple of horrible broken bits in it. Now, I've done a little bit of Googling. These are replaceable with modern day items. You can buy modern day ones. I don't really think I'm going to do that with this one. I think I'm going to have a go at trying to repair it. It's the original steering wheel that came off the car, and I think it's going to give it just that little bit of a feel to hold on to something that someone did in 1929. I mean, you've got to think of that as something that's pretty incredible, isn't it? So I'm going to have a go at fixing that up. So just to close off, once I get the new battery, I can then start checking whether I've got electrical circuits correct around the car, give it some fuel, and see if I can get this thing started. So hopefully within maybe the next video or the one after the next one, I should be almost ready to start that. So this is going to branch off into a few different areas from now. As I did with building the aeroplane, there'll be, when I built the engine for that, I built the wings. I had, 4 or 5 different parts that, 4 or 5 part episodes or episode parts to do that. So how I approach this build, it's just a documentation, a bit of fun stuff, a bit of, anyone out there that loves Model A's or any type of car restoration or any type of building video that's on YouTube, and there's some pretty damn clever people out there, I have to admit. I'm never going to be one of them, but suffice to say that I enjoy what I do. I'm like a fart in a bottle. I always got to be doing something, so I hope you enjoy this one, and I will hopefully see you next time.